Hello, hello. It's Business Partner, Unit 4. Business Strategy. Business Workshop on Supermarket Wars. What is this about? Big supermarket chains have struggled against themselves, against each other for decades. And how are they doing these days? Learners can use key information from a text to complete a chart and can make choices about company strategy, giving reasons. It's very nice because it happens everywhere. Even in small towns, there are supermarket chains. There are those important ones, there are the smaller ones, and there are the grocery stores, the greengrocers, and they're fighting for our pockets. They want us to buy from them, and we want to buy things, right? We have to. Where do you like going to buy your stuff? Do you prefer a small shop like this or a big supermarket? Compare the two photos. How often do you go shopping in places like these? What are the advantages and disadvantages of shopping in each place? Well, we have these places. I have these places in Chapecó, Santa Catarina. There were places like these too in Lavras, in São Paulo, and they are different. What do you think? What are the differences? The size is obvious. The number of products. How would you describe these these grocers and these supermarkets? Let's talk about these during the live lesson. And we are going to come with many different ideas. Right? Very good. This is it. And then there's a background to the lesson. Read the background. To what extent does this represent the situation in your country? Discuss with a partner and give examples. The supermarket sector is highly competitive throughout the world. In many countries, a small number of retailers control a large proportion of the grocery market. In Australia, the industry is dominated by just two main competitors, while the USA has 4 major players, and South Africa has 5. Market research group Kantar reports that 4 supermarket chains have 2/3 of the market in the UK. In many European markets, the competition has become even more intense in recent years. This is because discount supermarket chains selling similar products for much lower prices have gained a considerable market share. However, the supermarket industry has not been able to expand across international borders well. Major chains from the USA, France, and the UK have not had much success in the largest retail markets in Asia, such as Japan and China. How's it in Brazil? How's it in your place? In Brazil, I can mention Carrefour from France, but there was Walmart that was present in Brazil some years ago. Is it still in Brazil? Walmart? I don't know, but I remember seeing that in São Paulo. How do you feel about buying from international chains? Are they good? What do you think? Tell me. Read the newspaper article about changing consumer habits. What are the 4 ways it mentions that people can do their shopping? What reasons does the article give for changing shopping habits? Can you think of any other possible reasons? Aha, so this is about changes, consumer habits related to supermarkets. Let's see. Recent studies show that hypermarkets in many countries are becoming less popular. Today's busy consumers don't want to waste time driving to big box stores and walking down long aisles with loaded shopping trolleys. More and more people want the convenience of shopping closer to home or near where they work. They also want to reduce waste by shopping more often and for a smaller quantity. This shift in consumer habits means that smaller neighborhood shops are becoming popular again, and big supermarket chains have reintroduced smaller convenience stores in towns and cities. Online shopping and home delivery services are also growing in popularity. Many big retail chains have started to offer a click and collect service, allowing customers to shop online and pick up their shopping at a time and that is that is convenient for them. A time, yes, for their shopping at a time and store that is convenient for them. What do you think? How do you make your shopping for food? How do you go to supermarkets? Do you prefer near your work, near your house, or far from your work and house, but to get very good prices in very big places? What is your habit? But people are changing. I remember reading some years ago that people were trying to buy near their work and go straight home. Because of these, bakeries were disappearing because people wouldn't arrive home and go out to buy in the neighborhood. They would buy in the neighborhood of where they work, like on the way to the bus, on the way to the underground, and they would arrive home and go and stay home. But if they would go by car, they would go to a supermarket on the way and then arrive home. This is what I read some years ago about habits abroad in big cities. I believe it happens in São Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, this way. But I like big supermarkets. I love supermarkets, by the way. But let's try to answer these 4 questions, okay? What are the 4 ways it mentions that people can do their shoppings? No, 3 questions. What reasons does the article give for changing shopping habits? And can you think of any other possible reasons? Right? So, very nice talk about this. And how might these changing consumer habits affect the business strategies of the big supermarket chains? Because if people are changing their habits, the big supermarket chains have to change. How? And this is what we are going to do. We are going to talk about this key information, and then we are going to complete a chart and make choices about strategies. I love this topic. Very nice. Okay, let's see it here. 3 supermarket chains. Working groups of 3 if possible, if there are enough people for that. Each of you read one of the profiles of the 3 supermarket chains on pages 128, 133 and 137. What type of supermarket is it? Do you have any supermarket similar to this in your country? Well, I'll give you one example here. What is it? This one. Let me show you. This is CNC. CNC is a leading, let me enlarge it a bit. right? Budget is possible. So, oops. Let me make it bigger. Yes. Right. Look, CNC is a leading discount supermarket chain with 650 stores in the UK. It's not a real chain, okay? It's just for the exercise. It sells a very limited range of items, under 800 mostly packaged products, and offers no services such as home delivery or online shopping. For the first time ever, the company gained a 6% share of the grocery market last year, and sales reached a record of £7.7 billion. However, profits fell as the price war ate into the retailer's profit margins. Its strategy is to sacrifice short-term profit margins in order to gain a bigger market share. Analysts believe CNC's cheapest price guaranteed strategy will not allow it to grow in the future. A recent survey of 50,000 customers reviewed general dissatisfaction with old store design, signage, lighting, cleanliness, cramped aisles, and checkout areas. Customers also want more fresh food options, which would involve investment in chilled space. Well, this is the situation of CNC. Would you buy there? Would you? Well, it seems it's a discount supermarket, and you can go and you're sure that you're going to pay a low price. But is it worth going? What type of supermarket is it? Do you have any supermarket similar to this in your place? In Chapecó, there's Forte Atacadão, and it's a very nice shop with good prices. Some items have very good prices. Some other items have normal prices, but it's worth going there. I try to go there once a month. But look at B. Read the profile again and answer the questions. What is the supermarket chain's approach to pricing and/or costs? What impression do you get of the in-store experience? How would you describe its product range? And what are the main challenges the chain faces? So after reading these questions, I'm giving you again the text. You can take a print and answer. Okay, why don't you do that? Look, can you read everything? I'm on the way. Sorry. So now you can read everything, right? Try that and let's move on. Well, this is what we are going to do in the live lesson, because there are other two supermarket chains, right? The one on page 128 and the other one on page 133. The idea is for each one, look, groups of three. Each one is going to read about one chain, and they are going to know the information, and you are going to share the information here. You are going to share the information you have about each supermarket chain and complete the pie chart and bar chart together. And the very nice thing about this exercise is that we are going to discuss about these chains and learn from them. And you're going to express yourself talking about the chain, right? And well, we have the total market share. We'll learn that it has only 27% of the market share. There are other chains. You remember there were 4 big chains that would get 2/3 of the market in UK. And then product range on sale in stores, around 25,000 items. The other one has around 10,000 items, and the other one, how many? 800, 1,000? I don't remember. You tell me. You have to do the exercise, not me. Well, the point is that we are going to talk about these options. It will be a very good talk among you students, or if it's a private lesson, teacher and student. But look, which supermarket do you think faces most challenges and why? So we have 3 chains, right? Is it the bigger one, the smaller ones? Oh look, they are very similar in size. But what are their strategies, their product range? And let's talk about this, because this is about strategy. What do you think is best for each of the chains? And how they could work with their conditions. But after that, we have these extra activities. And they are very nice because they are about the profiles again. Which supermarket? So are you working in 3 or not? We are going to work and find the information here. Which supermarkets is or are competing on price? Which ones can be compared to a department store? Which ones offers high quality ready meals? Delicious. Which one or ones does not offer online shopping? Do you remember CNC? We've just read about them. Has or have an increase in market share? Has or have a fall in sales? Has the best prices? Has the biggest stores? Well, this is what we have to answer based on this description of the chains. And after that, we have to complete these 10 sentences with these words. Look, we have this word here. I didn't show you, but do you remember that picture with the trolley and the shopping cart, if you prefer? Well, it's in an aisle, and you don't say easily. No, it's aisle, right? And then you go and you pay at the checkout. Convenience store is a smaller one, not as big as a supermarket. Core business is what the business is, basically, like a petrol station, a gas station sells petrol or gasoline, right? But they also sell other things. But the core business is selling fuel. Groceries, the things that we buy. Outlet is a shop, basically. Own brand is when a shop shows products with their names or with a name that is connected to that shop, right? Retailer. And what is a retailer? Is it a person or is it a shop? You tell me. Sell off. Sell, right? And up market. What kind of market is it? Well, 3 questions for you because I answered all the others. Let's try to complete these. So, number 1, look at the long queue or line in American English, right? Look at the long line. Whoops, here. Why don't they open another? Where you pay, check out. By the way, last Saturday, I went to Forte Atacadista and I spent more than 1 hour waiting for paying and coming back home. And it was terrible to observe that the other lines, the other queues were much faster. And I could have moved to another queue, and I decided, no, if I go to the other queue, it will stop going fast and my one will speed up. And I stayed here and it took more than an hour. Well, the new is great. It's close by and it's open 24 hours. Well, it's about a shop, right? It's open, but which kind? The supermarket's tomato sauce is really good. Aha, so it's a product from the supermarket. I gave you a hint about this. 4. It must be quite an restaurant. The prices are really expensive. So in the supermarket you can eat. It's a restaurant. So a restaurant, what kind of it? Is it low cost, high cost? You tell me. Is there a word for high connected to high here in the list? One of them I didn't answer. Tell you which one was the meaning. Try that one. Excuse me, do you know where the biscuits are? Yes, in blah 4. Remember, you were riding your trolley inside? Right? Good. They plan to their cafes to another famous chain. So they have cafes in the shops, in the supermarkets, but they want to sell to give to other chains of cafes like Starbucks or others to control their cafes, but for a price. How do you call that? And then blah are food and other things used in the home which are sold by supermarkets. Easy, right? The things. How do you call the things that you buy in a supermarket or in a grocery store? Let's see. 8. A or N is a person or business that sells goods to customers in a shop. So remember, I told you, is it a person, is it a shop, is it a company? I told you. Now you can use that word. The supermarket has at least one in every major UK city. The supermarket has one shop, but you don't have shop here. You have a synonym, shop. A company is the primary area or activity that it focuses on in its operations. Remember what the company does, like the gas station, the petrol station? Remember that? What is the expression to describe that? So this is it. This is the extra activity. But then the very nice task for the workshop. We have these 3 chains and they face challenges. How to help them? Work in small groups. Choose one of the supermarket chains in exercise 4A. Do you remember there were 3 we read about CNC? Look at the list of possible strategies to implement and help the chain to grow, to recover, to deal with their problems. Which strategies would be best for your chosen supermarket? You can use more than one and suggest ideas of your own. give reasons for your decisions. So we have these suggestions here, very interesting ones. But remember to think about competition in the market, changing consumer habits and preferences, the options offered by smartphones and digital technologies, and I don't understand why there is never an age when they write technologies, and the risks of doing nothing. Yes, because if you stay, oh, I've always worked this way, it doesn't work. You stay behind the market. So we have to improve ourselves, and chains have to do the same. Let's read the ideas. Build bigger and better stores. Sell off non-core businesses. Invest in remodeling existing stores. Rent out store space in hypermarket to other companies. Produce own-brand high-end products. Use more locally sourced suppliers and products. Reduce the number of product lines to cut costs. Enter large overseas markets such as Asia. Introduce more product lines and luxury goods. Buy or rent more small stores in town centers. Introduce a loyalty card and personalized discount vouchers. Offer a click and collect service in urban areas. Ah, yes, you see, these are many different strategies. Which ones do you think would go with your chosen supermarket chain? You could talk about that and then work in new groups with students who thought about the other supermarket chains and tell each other about the chain you chose and the strategies you think best for you. Very nice. But now we are going to, oops, I always do that, sorry. It was taking too long for this to happen, right? In the end of the video, haha, sorry for that. But what do we have now? Here in the end, we are going to listen to a recent business news report about the supermarket industry. Which strategies is each company pursuing? How do they compare to your ideas? And this listening will be heard during the live lesson. Why? Because it would bring answers for this exercise here. So let's work on this, and in the end of the live lesson, we listen to these, okay? See you in the live lesson. I hope you are curious to see what actually happened. See you then. Bye-bye.